lose body fat and you want to build muscle, these are my results here. This is over a year's time. And I feel like I talk a lot about on these treadmill chats what I did in order to see these results, but I don't talk about the things that I didn't do or the things that didn't work for me. So let's go through it. First, I want to start off with pre-workout. This didn't work for me, as well as creatine. It's something I don't take. For pre-workout, I found that a lot of the time there was too much caffeine in it. I didn't like the itching feeling that it gave me. I'm just not a gym bro in that way. And I felt like when I did have pre-workout and I didn't see a difference, in my personal opinion and my personal experience. When I was just having caffeine, I have like a green tea based one, because that will give me kind of as a slow releasing energy. So it gives me energy over a 5-hour period. So I felt like I was way more energized than having like a coffee or anything, because it was giving me that spike, and then I would crash and I would want to have a nap after my workout. So I stopped having pre-workout and just started having this green tea energy supplement instead, and it feels like slay. Also, I feel like pre-workout was making my heart go really fast, and it kind of scared me, making me a little bit anxious, so I didn't like it. And creatine I don't have, because I had personally had such a bad experience with it, in the sense of just how my body reacted to it. I love the science behind it. I think it's an amazing supplement. I genuinely think it works, and I've seen it work so well for people. So I wish I could take it, to be honest, but I actually broke out so badly all over my face, like painful cystic acne, and on my body as well. Really bad digestion as well. Had really, like, I was holding so much water. Even if I drank so like lots and lots and lots of water, I still just was, my body was just not liking it. So I decided it's not for me, and that's probably one of the biggest questions I get is, do I take creatine? So no, I don't. Wish I could, but I don't. So that was one thing that didn't work for me that I don't take. Another thing that didn't work for me was intermittent fasting. So if you don't know what that is, it pretty much means you don't eat for the beginning of the day. You can only have certain things, and you start your first meal like in the afternoon, and then you eat all of your calories and all of your macros in that like nighttime period. For me personally, this didn't work, just because I'm somebody that I started doing the reverse of that and eating within 30 minutes of waking up and having 30 grams of protein for breakfast, and my body was so fueled, I stopped craving all of these unhealthy things. So I feel like when I was going that long without food and that sense of restriction, I started craving really sugary things and things that weren't necessarily good for my body, just because it was lacking fuel. So I found that that didn't work. I was eating things that I shouldn't be eating, and I was going super off track, and I just felt like this binge and restriction mindset, which was not a slay. And something that I found that actually did work really well for me was eating small meals frequently throughout the day. So I'll eat every 3 hours, and personally I found that actually sped up my metabolism. Loved it. And the final thing is fitness classes. And don't get me wrong, these are so slay. Like, I love the idea of them, and I loved doing them when I was doing them, just honestly for the community aspect of it and like making friends, but also for the accountability part of it. Like, you kind of have to show up for that class, and you want to go to the class because all the people that you know are going to be there and stuff like that. So I feel like they're so slay in that sense. But honestly, I found that they're so broad. Like, there's so many different people that go to them, that the exercises aren't catered to what you want, and they also just, I found, were almost too much cardio, too much stress on my body, for the results that I was after. And I felt like my body worked so much better when I was working out at a more like less is more state, rather than these high intensity classes or functional classes that were usually early in the morning that were spiking my cortisol. So I felt like I was so inflamed. I did try and do like heated Pilates classes as well, heated cardio, that just really spiked my cortisol and didn't work well for me. I'll insert a picture of what my face looked like when I started doing that. I don't like what it looks like now. You can also go on my page and see I look totally different to that photo. Actually, what I did instead of spending the money on fitness classes is I got somebody to customize me a fitness program to just do in the gym. And just because I had those specific goals of like where I wanted to build muscle, where I wanted to lose body fat, and then I actually became friends with one of my friends now who's actually my coach, and she was like, you know, we did a gym session together, and she said, so do you have a plan? Like, what do you do? And I said, no, I just come into the gym and do whatever I want. And she's like, well, no wonder you don't have these results that you want. Like, you need to do the same kind of workouts on the same days for a set amount of weeks and do progressive overload to see the results that you're after. So that's when she put me on a program where I was doing set amount of things and the same things consistently every single week. And the good thing about doing this and getting some kind of coach or getting somebody is it was keeping me accountable, but I was actually seeing the results, and she was tracking it. So she was making sure I was seeing progress, which was absolutely amazing. So I felt like I just switched that investment of money and I saw results 10 times more. So now I follow a program depending on where I'm at in my journey and what results I want to see. And I love it. It's such a slay. So they're the things that I don't do for my health and fitness, and things that I do now instead that work 10x better for me.